Hey guys, I'm Joe from Good Shepherd Training. Today I want to talk about the functions of an M4 carbine or its civilian counterpart, the AR15. Since the lift of the assault weapon ban, everyone's gone out and grabbed themselves a modern day carbine, AR15, AK-47, things of that nature, and many of them don't know how to use it. So I just wanted to make a quick video on how it's supposed to operate so that you can better diagnose some of its malfunctions and also talk about some of the malfunctions. There are 8 functions to an AR15 or M4 carbine, and that's feeding, chambering, locking, firing, unlocking, extracting, ejecting, and cocking. Alright, feeding. Feeding is nothing more, and these have all been cleared. There's 2 weapons down here. They've all been cleared, and these are dummy rounds. These won't fire. That's going to be real important for firearm safety if you're doing any training like this indoors, not at a range, or pointing in a safe direction, obviously. Alright, feeding. Feeding is nothing more than the bolt, which is in the upper receiver, coming forward, lifting the magazine, or coming off the magazine and lifting the round up into the chamber. Alright, and that's feeding from the magazine. Chamber is it actually going inside the chamber of the AR-15. You see, you may could have seen in there where the bolt will meld into it, which we're going to talk about here shortly. Alright, locking. All locking is the bolt locking into place. Like so. This is the bolt. Whenever we're talking about the bolt, a lot of times it's slang to call this the entire bolt. That's not the case. This is the bolt. All of this together is the bolt carrier group. Alright, the bolt locks in place, and that's locking. Firing is nothing more than the hammer coming forward, striking the, see the metallic back there, striking the firing pin, coming forward, striking the primer of the round, and actually firing. Unlocking. The bolt actually unlocks from its position, extracting it. I'll show you here. Right here, there's a little claw. It almost looks like this, and it grabs the rim of that round and it extracts it. Ejecting. There's a spring-loaded portion of the other side of the bolt, and on the other side, it's almost like a push-pull where it actually is thrown free of the weapon. All right, cocking. When the bolt comes back, it does like so, and it cocks, and it gets ready for the next round, and it continues to do that. Feeds, chambers, locks, fires, unlocks, extracts, ejects, cocks. And those are the 8 functions to an M4. And again, if you know those functions, it's a lot easier to be able to diagnose an issue when you do have a malfunction. Okay, now we're going to talk about some of the malfunctions. Some of the malfunctions being failure to fire, failure to feed, double feed, and bolt override. Alright, failure to fire. A lot of you, if you've been in the military before, you've heard the acronym SPORTS. SPORTS is slap, pull, observe, release, tap, and squeeze. Okay, the theory being, if it doesn't fire, if the weapon doesn't fire, you slap the magazine to ensure that it's seated. You pull the charging handle, you observe. Now, you could just pull the charging handle and release, okay? If you're in the middle of a magazine, you haven't had issues with the weapon all day, or in the middle of this fight that you're in, you could just release, and if you feel it function well, you could go to shooting. I like to just look, see if I see something crazy going on, and release. Tap. Tap this is the bolt forward assist, or just a forward assist. And all the forward assist is something like this in there, and it pushes the sides of these ridges, and it actually pushes it forward. Because sometimes it may go, if it's real dirty, it may actually not go in all the way into battery. Okay, one thing I think I forgot is, as soon as I feel that weapon malfunction, I cant the weapon just slightly so I can see what the malfunction actually is, whether it's a double feed, whether I need to go ahead and get another magazine, what type of, that way I can actually visualize what the problem is. Now granted, if you're actually in a situation, you're a police officer, law enforcement officer, soldier, something like that, if you have a sidearm and you have a malfunction, drop that thing, get the other weapon into place, because I'd rather, although this is a better weapon for a fight, I would much rather have a sidearm that was working than a long gun that wasn't. Alright, so that's failure to feed, alright, or correction, that's failure to fire. It's just slap, pull, observe, release, tap, squeeze. Now release, another thing to talk about for there, when you are releasing, you don't just you don't go with it. You pull it all the way back and you release it. You actually let it go. You actually let it go. That way the bolt can go forward and do the things we were talking about during the function. Alright, let's see. We talked about failure to fire. Alright, failure to feed. Same exact thing actually. Slap, seat the magazine, pull, observe, release, tap, squeeze, squeeze. I'm back in the fight. I'm fighting. Okay, double feed. Double feed. All right. Double feed's going to look something like this. Got one magazine, or correction, one round already out of the magazine. I'm going to lock the bolt to the rear. Alright, now the way this is caused could be the weapon didn't extract or eject correctly and the old round's in there, or it could be that the magazine had some type of issue and 2 rounds got loaded, or you loaded it once and that's a lot of times operator error. You loaded one, then you allowed another one to load and all that kind of mess. Alright, so, but the round in is going to cause a double feed, so this isn't advice. Alright, you see my bolt. And I got 2 rounds in there, okay? 1 hole, 2 rounds, not going to work out. Okay, 2 ways to do this. One, and this is the way I've been guilty of doing it before in the past in the military, and most military guys will teach, or you know, that they do. And one is just to grab it and pull it all the way out and just snatch that joker out. Now if you notice, I released the magazine, there's play, but it's not dropping. And the reason why is because when you have that round, you got kind of a crossbar effect, and it's in there. Now this is just a little plastic polymer one, but when you're pulling it down like this, it may not come all the way out. So this is the way other people teach it, and I'm starting to go more that way myself. You come up, you hit the bolt catch right here with your thumb, lock it to the rear. Alright, both of those rounds just went free. I ride it forward. Drop the magazine, grab the charging handle, hit it 3 times, put another one in. Now I'm back in the fight. Alright, and that's a double feed. Alright, so what happened there is we locked the bolt to the rear, dropped the magazine, pull it back, shucked anything that was in there, maybe there's another round or whatever, shuck 3 times, then got me another mag out of my little ready mag spot, or you know, my little active shooter bag, whatever the situation may be, and I'm back in the fight. Okay, now here's another one that if you have this malfunction and you have a pistol, you need to go to that pistol, because this is something that's going to actually take a little bit more to fix, and that's a bolt override. And you will see this if someone's shooting a lot, but it's not very common, which is good for you. Alright, you kind of got to be careful setting it up, because I'm not trying to mess up my weapon here. And basically I'm putting a round above the bolt. There we go. Now I'm going to load the magazine. And I'm going to ease the bolt forward because I don't, like I said, want to mess my bolt up. Easing the bolt forward just like it would if it was firing. Now, there I am, I'm firing. I have an issue, I check. I can see, okay, there's one above my bolt. This is going to definitely be an issue, okay? Can't really pull the magazine, or can't pull this back, and the reason why, or the charging handle back, because the problem is, what has just happened is that round has taken up this space. Or I'll do it this way so you kind of understand it with my weapon there. It's taken up this space, so when I pull that charging handle, the round is actually pulling the bolt back as well. So we're going to have to move the bolt somehow independently of the charging handle. Okay, so you're going to have some type of tool or something. Alright, it could be a knife. You might want to carry a knife on you that'll fit in there. It might be a Gerber. Alright, today I'm going to use a screwdriver just because it's just clean, and then we're just talking through this. Alright, so I'm going to drop the bolt, I'm going to drop the magazine. I got it cleared, okay? I'm definitely going to want to get to cover because this is about to take a minute. You may want to grab a Snicker bar. Alright, I'd definitely be on that pistol if I had one. Alright, put it up against something I can force it, whatever. Some type of base, you know, car, bottom of the ground, whatever. Alright, now what I want to do is move that bolt independently of the charging handle. So there we go, just move the bolt, round fell. Alright, what's going on there is this. Again, a round has gotten inside that charging handle, which is obviously not how it's designed. Alright, so it's gonna look something like this. So what we're gonna have to do, move the bolt back, drop that round, okay? Now once I've done that, fast forward, I got it to drop. 1, 2, 3, put one in, boom, I'm back in the fight. So there are gonna be 4 common malfunctions with a M4 carbine or its civilian counterpart, the AR15. That's going to be failure to fire, failure to feed, double feed, and bolt override. So what we talked about were the 8 functions of an M4: feeding, chambering, locking, firing, unlocking, extracting, ejecting, and cocking. We also talked about how to clear the malfunctions such as failure to feed, failure to fire, double feed, and bolt override. Again, thanks for watching. Like the page. Give me your feedback, whether positive or negative. I appreciate you watching. And I'm Joe from Good Shepherd Training. And remember, the Good Shepherd lays his life down for the sheep. Thanks.